words that can have the same meaning or imply the same context.
So do you yourself don't want to talk about the fact that tafas and chazak are not the same word? So explain to everybody.
I already responded to that, brother Maverick. Are you not listening? I already responded to that.
No, it's not about not listening. It's about the fact that you haven't addressed it.
Hey guys, this is Joe from Bringing the Truth, and I'm reacting to Jake. Apparently he's debating Logic's student. I don't know if that's the truth. I've never really looked into any students that he might have.
You don't know what betrothed means.
No, I'm asking you. I know what it means. Betrothed means that she is set up to be married, right? This is a betrothed young woman in the countryside, and the man forces her and lies with her. Okay. Again,
but is that a difference in the two contexts? One is betrothed and one is not. Why'd you fail to mention that?
Because it's inconsequential to the punishment. So
yes, according to verse 28, yes.
According to verse 28, correct. But you are reading the NIV, and now we're seeing that the actual translations, the proper translations, do not utilize that language. And when you look at the original Hebrew, which you have failed to address many times, it's not even the same.
I haven't even attempted to address it because I'm showing you that you are so illiterate you can't even.
He's trying to say that the actual translations, the real translations, the translations that we accept, don't read it the way Jake is reading it. And I agree 100% with him, but Jake doesn't have to agree. He could say, well, these interpretations do say that, do they not? Yes, they do. Your religion does accept the NIV translation, do they not? Yes, they do. So it is part of our religion. It is part of our teaching, but that's not the way I would have handled it. It doesn't say what Jake is saying, and it's found in the context, and this guy is going about it the wrong way. He's arguing about it the wrong way.
Do not utilize that language. And when you look at the original Hebrew, which you have failed to address many times, it's not even the same.
I haven't even attempted to address it because I'm showing you that you are so illiterate you can't even read a text properly. You didn't even recognize the difference between 25
I recognize that 25. I recognize that 25.
You never mentioned one is betrothed and one is not. Why'd you fail?
And because he didn't mention one is betrothed and one is not, he thinks he's got him. He thinks that he's schooled him or whatever, and he didn't know what he was asking him to point out. He's not a mind reader, so he could have never guessed it. So I'm just wanted to show this. I wanted to show he's attacking the wrong thing, and then as I make my case, you'll see why he attacked the wrong thing, and I'm gonna try and make it as quick as I can. Now, the reason why he was going about it the wrong way and he's arguing it about the wrong way. Okay, now the reason why he's going about it the wrong way and arguing it about the wrong way is because he's trying to argue the semantics of it, right? This word means this and this word means that, which I totally made a video about and did the same thing, basically, right? However, here's the way I would have handled it. And you got to use verses 13, starting from verse 13 all the way to 29, not starting it, but you got to include 13. So from 13 to 21 is about the woman's virginity and about the man slandering her, right? That's not important right now, but in verse 22 we see the man and the woman laying together, right? They're found and they're both put to death. And they're both put to death because one, she's married and that's fornication or adultery, and then two, she didn't scream out for help, so she was obviously considered to have been partaking in it in a way that is adulterous, right? Verse 23: if a damsel is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and if a man find her in the city and lie with her, then they shall both be put to death, in verses 23 and 24. And again, why are they both being put to death? Because she cried not. Being in the city where anybody could have heard her, she didn't cry out. They were caught in the act. She's married. What she's considered to be married because she's betrothed. He slept with a woman's another man's woman, right? So they're both going to be put to death. Again, so we see in verse 24, because she cried not. And in verse 22, she cried not. That's why she's being put to death. It says, verse 25, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. Right? Obviously, it's a force. Why? So she must have either screamed out or she must have reported it after it happened. Those are the only ways possible, because we'll see verse 26. But unto the damsel that shall do nothing, there is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. It was a violent situation, which God Logic's student was trying to explain, but he wasn't explaining it well. This is a violent situation. When a man kills another man, this is a violent situation where a man takes a woman, right? Verse 27, for he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was no one to save her. So why is it rape? She cried out, right? Nobody heard her, so she had to have reported it, right? And the first two cases that we saw earlier, the woman was caught not crying out, so obviously she was partaking in it. At least that's how they see it. In verse 28, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall pay the father. How do we know verse 28 and verse 29 is not talking about the R word, right? Because here there's nobody being put to death, for one, right? If she would have cried out, he would have been put to death. If she would have been married or betrothed, which is why the earlier verses talked about it, it mentioned that. And in this case, she's neither married nor betrothed, so there's nothing wrong with that. The case here, I would say, is the man having to marry her is not about the R word, and it's not so much as a punishment as it is a protection, because this is where we see it's a protection. He's going to be forced to marry her as a penalty. But what happens to the woman who's found to not be a virgin, right? If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasion of speech against her and says something bad about her, right? That this woman is not a virgin. Then shall the father of the damsel and the mother prove that she's a virgin. They have to give evidence that she's a virgin, and that's probably like the sheets or something like that, if they have blood on it. That's probably the only way to make prove that she was a virgin. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, my daughter I gave unto this man, and he hates her. And lo, he's talking about her and saying she's not a maid. And look, here's the proof that she was a maid. And the elders shall punish the guy, right? And I'm just paraphrasing everything. And they shall immerse him with 100 shekels of silver and give him unto the father and the damsel, because he hath brought an evil upon a virgin of Israel, and shall be his wife and not be able to put her away all the days of his life. But if this thing be true, if she not be a virgin, and the tokens of virginity not be found, so like there is no proofs, like a bloody sheets or bloody clothing or something, right? Then this is the punishment. She shall be brought out, the damsel shall be brought out to the door of the father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her, that she die, because she had wrought folly in Israel, and played the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put away evil from among you. So to say in verse 28 that she was R-worded, but didn't scream for help, she has taken a chance of being put to death, because she will have another man that might be interested in her, want to marry her, and finds that she's not a virgin, and then they put her to death because they consider her playing the whore. But in this case, in verse 29, him having to marry her, it is a penalty, but him marrying her keeps her safe all the rest of the days of her life. She's not going to be found to not be a virgin with any other man. She's going to be with that man that she lay with. The one where the man's being put to death, she cried out. Verse 28 and 29, there is no crying out. They're caught. They were both in on it, and now they have to get married. That's it. That's my explanation.